The first thing I would say is practice. You can't actually figure things out without practice. I'll say the same thing that I've heard other people say. Dancing itself, I would say, is about 60 to 70% in your head. You can be at work, you can be with your girlfriend, you can be doing whatever, and technically you can think about things in your head. Hey, I could do this, or I could do this, fold, or I could do this. But then it takes you actually trying. And if you can pull it off, hey, there's your technique altogether. Personally, if I dance, a lot of it is just, muscle memory. When I do something, my body remembers what I did, and it comes out. But then a lot of it, when you get into certain areas or certain environments, it just comes out. So then you have to actually backstep. You do something, and you're like, wow, hey, that was really cool. You got to kind of stop at that moment, not pay attention to anything that's going on, step back and actually realize what you did, and then incorporate that into what you've been building on since you started actually performing liquid. I have a lot less free time, first of all, and second of all, it's actually, gotten me a lot more friends, build up my collection of friends. I have friends basically all over the United States, which in certain cases I haven't even met. I've never met half these people, but I feel a secure bond with them because we share the same interest, liquid or digital. My life has affected my dance in a couple of different ways. The first one would actually show through when I chose my screen name or my name, Deviance. My life and my dance are they seem to be separated. When you look at it, Deviance itself, it's basically going away from the norm. When I take that aspect into my dancing, especially when I look at what I've expanded on, like threads and whatnot, when I first started doing threads, I really never saw anyone doing expanded threads other than a couple people. And so that was one thing I wanted to go into. I wanted to actually, take that point and expand on it because I had never seen it really done to a full extent. And not to mention, if you look at certain things with like digits and things like that, it's all getting away from the norm. So, like with digits, using my thumb is one thing. I haven't really seen anybody expand on that, but when you look at my personal life and my dance life, I've tried to incorporate more, but my normal life is a lot more different than my real life. So I use that a lot, looking at differences, what people are doing, and I expand things around. I personally, I don't really agree. I agree a lot with like ciphers getting together and actually, compiling our ideas, watching other people perform liquid, and then helping, giving advice on what they should do or what we think they should do as far as to make their liquid more dynamic. Competition itself, I don't ever see working because it's so hard to judge, what you're, giving points to or who should win. Unless you're basing it on like pure illusion, which is still in that case it's hard to judge because there's so many different types of things you can do with flow, with combination of digits and flow. There's so many different things you can combine them. I just don't think there could be an actual decent way of grading or giving points based on that. So in my particular sense, I would say no, not at all. It just doesn't seem like it would work, especially not with something as dynamic and crazy as liquid and itself. My advice has got to be practice first of all, and get out there in the community and actually take the steps to meet people who have been doing it longer than you have, who can help you and actually advance what you've been learning on, what you've been doing. It takes you being around people better than you for you to actually get better yourself. That's the only way you can do it. That's all there is to it. This trip has taught me anything, it's been that. It's actually
no, but honestly speaking, I don't think...
Apply it to any sport. If you apply how you get better at sports, it's the same thing. You can't go out there and play a sport with people who suck, who aren't as on a different level anymore, because you'll stay at that level. You won't ever progress. You have to get out there with people who are constantly doing better and better, so you yourself will better and better yourself. I mean, that's all I think you can do as far as to progress. That's all there is.
Okay.
Away from each other. Living so far away from everyone, it's hard to actually get out and get to who you actually see as being on either the same level or above where you're at. That's the hardest part. If you can see the collection that we've gotten so far. Everyone's at least driven more than 4 hours to get together for an event. So it's tough. I think it's a perfect idea. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for the internet. I can tell you that right now. I wouldn't be doing half the stuff I do without the internet. I wouldn't know half the people I know without the internet. I was thinking that on the actual way here. I was thinking I'm going to meet people who I've only actually met 2 of out of possibly 6 to 7. I mean, these people I don't know anything about. But when I got here, I actually noticed, hey, like if we live in the same town, we would be, tight friends. We would hang out probably every day if possible. So yeah, internet itself just brings people together and actually, kind of just makes everything. I would have to say my first trip to Detroit was mind-blowing. I saw more stuff in a weekend than I've seen in my entire history of doing winters. I mean, not to mention the fact that you have people there that, are helping you expand, giving you ideas. You're constantly feeding off something, whether it be just being in the same area as these people, or, somebody going, hey, that set was nice, or that thread was sick, or something like that. It just gives you so much more to go off of. Like, I personally, Detroit was a large step because I do live so far away from it. But personally, it was definitely well worth it because I'm going to go home and expand on everything I just learned. And when I come back, it's going to be a whole different story. So I'd say the Detroit trip was definitely like the best thing I've ever been to. I learned more in 2 days than I have God knows how long. Beware of the hamburger.
That's going.
Who taught you that? Little T taught you that. Little 13-year-old girl off MySpace.
Oh my God.
I mean,